Hi, we're gonna get started with a full body workout. You will need a couple sets of dumbbells. I'm not sure how my body's feeling today, so I've got a light, medium, and a heavy. And you're also gonna need a resistance band, something that doesn't have a ton of resistance. It's pretty easy for you to stretch. When you've got your equipment ready, you might also want a chair or be near a wall for some balance support for some of the single leg stuff that we're gonna do. When you've got your equipment ready, meet me on your mat or on the floor. You don't actually need a sticky mat unless you feel like you need a little bit more like sticky surface for your workout. You can be doing this on the carpet or on the floor. But come to your hands and your knees. We're just going to take a couple rounds of cat-cow here. Wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. Tuck your tailbone under, draw the abdominals inward, and tuck your chin toward your chest, finding a cat stretch. Then tip your tailbone upward, tilt the chin up, not forcing this stretch at all, just extending the spine, a little bit of an arch in the back here for your cow stretch. And move between these two with breath. Take a breath in. And then round your spine for cat as you breathe out. Just move between these two stretches, inhaling to find your arch, exhaling to round into the back. 2 or 3 more. As you come into cow, imagine pulling the heels of your hands toward your knees. As you find cat, imagine pressing the hands toward the top of the mat. Couple more, breathing in, breathing out. Take one more round here, not a big deal if your breath isn't quite synced up, just bringing some deeper, fuller breaths in, speaking of cats. And then we're gonna come into a little bit of a trunk rotation. Take your right toes back behind you. You might press forward and backward a couple times, move around in that ankle, and then inhale your left arm up. Square your chest to the mat, exhale your left hand down. 2 more on this side. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, bring your hand down. Last time on this side, breathe in. Then bring the hand down, slide your right knee back in. Switch legs, left leg comes back. Right arm opens on an inhale. Hand down as you exhale. 2 more. So we're finding some rotation in the upper body, gonna help with our mobility as we start to move. 1 more here, breathe in. Then bring that hand down as you breathe out. Left knee comes back underneath your left hip. Press into the mat. We're gonna warm up the abdominals a bunch here. Hover your knees just an inch or 2 above your mat. And then walk your right toes out into plank, left toes out into plank. Bring your right toes back down, covering that knee, and left toes back down, covering the knee. So walk it out and in a couple times. Try and keep your shoulders right over your wrists. Keep drawing up and in through the abdominals. And then neutral through the spine, neutral through the pelvis. So if your butt's really high up in the air here, try and find a little bit more alignment between the shoulders and the hips. So we want shoulders and hips in the same line. Just here for 5, warming up the core, getting the heart rate up. 2 and 1. Walk it into a forward fold. So you can walk your hands back towards your feet. Give your head a little shake, bend into the knees a bunch. And then slow, slow, slow. You're gonna roll it up to standing. Once you're upright, we're gonna bring the hands to the hips and take 8 good morning stretches, warming up the back side of the legs. So this is a hip hinge movement. Imagine sending your hips back like you're trying to sit into a chair back behind you, and then push into your heels to stand up. 7 more, hinge back through the hips. Press into the heels to rise. 6 more, just like that. If you're feeling this in your quads in the front of the legs, think really hard about finding a hinge through the hips. So the chest is coming parallel to the ground on the way down. Last 3. Hopefully I'm counting right as I'm talking here for 2. Last 1. And then roll it on up slow. All right, we're gonna circle the right arm and the left arm a couple times, just moving through your shoulders. Feel free to bend into the elbows. There's no rule that the arm needs to be straight unless that feels good. I'm gonna switch and take arm circles forward, a little trickier here. All right, take it forward. Looks like you're swimming, right? The core and the rest of the body is like 30% engaged. For 3, 2, 1. Last warm up, we've got hip rotation, internal and external. So starting with external, we're going to tap the inside of the knee, calf, or foot. We're going to switch and do the opposite in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Internal rotation here. Tap the outside of the foot or the leg. One more warm up and then we're going to get into it. So hopefully you're feeling like blood's moving, a little bit more aware of your body. All right, we've got reverse lunge to an overhead reach. So our last warm up, big one. We're going to alternate for 8. So step 1 foot back, reach up, come back to the top, other foot back, reach up, back to the top. 7 more on each leg. Set your eyes to one spot on the horizon. 6 more. Rooting down into your front foot to stand back up. 5, 4, reaching the arms up as much as you feel comfortable doing. 3, maybe making that step back a little bit bigger. Last 2, last one on each side. Totally fine if you lose your balance. It's usually a nice indication to slow down a little bit. All right, we've got a wall sit next. We're gonna really bring some emphasis into the quads here. I'm gonna grab a light set of dumbbells, medium for me, and then bring those dumbbells onto the tops of the thighs. Make sure that your feet are making an 11 as you go ahead and lower down onto that wall. This would be a place where having a sticky mat or making sure that the surface that you're working on isn't too slick. If you have a stability ball, you can use that back behind you. And then we're just going to straighten the legs and rebend the knees. So 9 more like this. The more you press your back into the wall behind you, the harder it is, the more you're loading the quads, the front of the legs here, which is our intention. I think we've got 5 more, and then we're going to pulse at the bottom. Last 2. Make sure that the knees aren't collapsing inward, right? Last one, stay low. We're going to take it up an inch and down an inch. Up an inch, oh my gosh, down an inch for 10. Pressing against the wall or the ball, 9, 8, 7. So you're not straightening the legs all the way out. 6, 5, 4, 3, final 2, and 1. Straighten the legs all the way out. Step 1 foot back, and then walk away from the wall. I'm going to stick with these dumbbells. This is the 5-sided dumbbells. We're going to take a single leg deadlift, or I'll give you an option for a B stance deadlift, Romanian deadlift. So if you're taking the single leg with me, root down into your right foot. You can absolutely ditch. I'll demo this first. Ditch the dumbbell that's in your right hand. And then bring your right hand to the wall. You can hinge into that right knee, kick back to the left leg. Try and keep your chest squared toward the floor. So that shoulder that's connected to the arm with the dumbbell, we don't want to drop it down here. Just send the hips back. And then straighten back up, bringing that left foot back in. So we're gonna go for 10. You could always have the second dumbbell if your balance feels really good here. This might be too challenging for me today, we'll see. Same thing as we did with our good mornings, last 5. Think about sending your hip crease back, 4, and then pushing into your standing foot to stand up, to straighten that leg back out. 2, we're gonna add a little something at the end here. Pause in that challenge point, bring your awareness into your right hip crease, pulse down, down. It's a small little pulse, weight is in your right heel for 5, 4, 3, squeeze through the glutes for 2, the right glutes, and 1. All right, we're gonna trade legs. So step it out, shake it off, and then set up on the other side. You could have the dumbbell solely in your right hand. The left hand can be on a chair or the wall as you hinge forward and come back on up. We've got 10 like this, targeting the left hamstring and left glute. Maybe you have the second dumbbell. The goal here is not really to challenge your balance so much as to load the left glute and hamstring. So if the balance is getting in the way of you feeling like you're activating through the back of the left leg, through the target muscle tissue that we're trying to stimulate some adaptation in, then ditch the balance element. Last 2. I'll show next time. We're going to take another round of both of these moves and I'll show another variation next time. Okay, shake it off. You can grab water anytime you want. Pause the video, take a break. We're going to take it back through that wall sit. So everything in this workout, we're going to do twice. Work your way back into that wall sit. Do a little alignment check again. Make sure that your feet are parallel and your thighs here are parallel. Back is against the wall or a ball. And then straighten the legs and re-bend. Make sure that the knees are tracking your second or third toe. So the knees start to collapse in. I'd say you've gone a little bit too low. You can just reduce the range of motion. If this is feeling really easy for you, this is 5 here, walk your feet closer to the wall. Ooh, that did it. 6. Ooh, 7. Here's 8. This is not the best wall. There's a little bit of kind of cheap wainscoting behind me. Last 2. My tailbone's hitting that on the way up. Last 1, we're gonna stay low for those tiny little pulses. If you need more, walk the feet closer toward the wall. Down an inch, up an inch. Down an inch, up an inch. 10. Deep relaxed breaths. Pushing in, pushing the back. 6. 5. Try and slow it down and really control this movement for 3. 2. Oh my goodness. 1. All right, done with that one. Okay, so we did the single leg deadlift before. I'm gonna give you another variation that's gonna target the same tissue. Is our B stance RDL. So you can step the left toes just a smidge back behind you. It's not a big step. And if your balance is really challenging today, keep that left foot firmly planted. Otherwise, lift the left heel. What we're trying to do is send the majority of the body weight into the right foot. And then it's the same hip hinge movement. Hinge the hips back. Right leg's pretty straight. It's okay to have a bend in the knee. Kind of experiment with what works for your body. Push through your right foot to stand up. Very little weight in your left foot. And again, we're targeting the right glutes and right hamstring here. That was 3. Going for 10. Here's 4. I'm not a big stickler for the number that you do, so you could be doing 8, 12. What is that, 6? Maybe I'm not a stickler for reps because counting is definitely not my strength in training. It matters more if you're doing really heavy weights, right? If you've got a barbell loaded up with a bunch of weight, then you want to know how many reps you're doing. Let's do 1 more on this side. 2 more. Not quite feeling that burn yet. 1. Final 1. We did 3 more there. All right, switch legs. So that's actually pretty important. Hinge back through at your left hip. Press into that heel so the glutes activate. It's actually seeming to shake out in the research that it's more important that you feel the muscle fibers contract and squeeze and you feel like you're challenging the muscles that we're targeting, then you blow through a bunch of reps. So we want to get to a place where you feel some fatigue starting to set into the muscle. Maybe estimate with yourself, how many more do you think you can safely do? Do you think that you can do with good form? For me, I'm gonna say 4 more. I might slow it down a little bit. Good, 3, think about that hip hinge motion. Weight is in your front foot. I've got 2 more. You might be done. You might need to do a handful more after this last one for me. But either way, all good. When you're done, take a little break. You can set the dumbbells down. Our next set, grab some water if you'd like. You're gonna need a chair for. I don't think I said that, but it's right there. So you'll need something to sit on. For our seated rear flies, we'll use your band. If you don't have a band, you can do this with light dumbbells. And then we're gonna use your heavier or medium weights for a bicep curl to an Arnold press. So nice compound movement for upper body. So seated rear fly, you can watch first if you'd like. You're gonna stand on your band if you're using a band with me. I'll show you the variation with dumbbells if you wanna do that instead. I like to sit kind of toward the middle of the chair, or maybe my bum's a little closer toward the edge of the seat. Your palms are gonna face each other at the bottom. I'm gonna put a lot of slack between my hands here, so there's a big old loop there. And then I'm gonna take the arms out to the side. Need more slack. And I might just switch to my dumbbells here. So this would be one variation. If you've got a resistance band that's working for you, see if maybe I stand on just, that's a little bit better. If I take my band and just place it underneath one foot, you're hinged forward, pretty far forward. So if you're up here, you're gonna feel it quite differently. It's not wrong, but I wanna get a reverse fly happening. Another option, keep going if you found something that feels good, is to take lighter dumbbells, same leaning forward positioning, and then take them out to the side and control that movement back in. Neck is nice and long, giving the shoulder blades a little hug toward the spine as you lift the arms out to the side. You could also do this standing in a bench position. In fact, this feels better in my body today, so I'm gonna stick with this. Really control the dumbbells on the way down. So don't let gravity do the work for you. That eccentric, that motion on the way down where the muscles lengthening back out, we have a lot of opportunity to build strength there. We go for 5 more. Ooh, that's a challenge for me. You could be done. You might need 10 more. Ooh. Last 2. Oh my goodness. See, my range of motion is shortening and 1. Ooh. When you're ready, work it up to standing. Trade, you'll probably need heavier dumbbells for this next one. I'm feeling fatigued, so I'm gonna grab my 5 pounds again and have a heavier set. We'll see if I get there. So we're gonna do a bicep curl to an Arnold press. Start in a nice athletic position, regular old bicep curl. Once your dumbbells are at your shoulders here, turn your palms to face away from your body and then press the dumbbells up. You can straighten the arms all the way if you like. I like to have a little bend in the elbows. I'm gonna bring those dumbbells right back down. Flip the palms to get into your starting position for your bicep curl. Bicep curl, rotate the palms, Arnold press. Back down to the shoulders, rotate the palms, straighten the arms. That was 2 for me. I'm aiming for 10. We'll see how this goes. Okay, I think we can do it. I can do it. There's 4. There's 6. I think 10 was a good choice. Here's 7. 8. Doing great. 2 more reps here. Let the arms go real powerful burn. Press the feet down into the floor. Last one. Awesome. Set the dumbbells out of your way. Move the chair out of your way. I'm gonna give the upper body a little break, a little bit of plyometric intensity work, like a higher intensity move. I'm big on doing some high intensity stuff as long as we pace it appropriately. As long as we dose it appropriately. Pace is important too. What we're gonna do is a side step to a squat jump. So you're gonna step out to the side, step another foot in, and then jump up. Side step, jump up. We're gonna go for 30 seconds. Join me when you're ready. 30 seconds from here. Moving as fast as you safely can. So if this move is brand new for you, you might want to take it a little bit slower. We got 15 more seconds, halfway there. Last push for 5. Really stick that jump, and done. Take a breather, step it side to side, grab some water, and then we're gonna reset and take it right back through those reverse pec flies. Oh my goodness, the brain's done working after that. And then your bicep curl to Arnold press. Let your heart rate come down, let your respiratory rate come down. And then this would be why I really wanted this to be a seated movement. Whew. You can have a seat. I'm gonna try without bringing that band underneath my feet. Whew, lean forward, palms face each other, and then take it up. Kind of do need that for me. So sometimes it's an experiment, right? I gotta go back to my dumbbells and probably come back to my standing position. Sometimes we gotta experiment a little bit to figure out what variation of these movements is gonna give you the best access to activating your muscles in a way that's gonna stimulate some adaptation to the skeletal muscle, which will also stimulate some adaptation to the bones, right? We wanna keep the bone density up or increase it if we can. And bone density starts to decline after around age 30 or 35, unless we do something to counteract that. Same with muscle mass, right? So resistance training, so important for your physical well-being, which is going to impact the quality of life that we're able to live, our mobility, our independence perhaps. Let's bust out a few more reps. I feel very motivated when I think about what's happening in my muscles, and my bones here. Last one. For me, do more if you need. Maybe you're done and waiting on me to move into our next one. Okay. We've got that bicep curl to Arnold press. I'm gonna go up in weight actually and see. Sometimes when you feel a little like, oh, this is getting hard, for me, my options at that point are to kind of back off and take it easy, or to like really dig in. We'll see how this works. All right, bicep curl, flip the palms away, press up. Flip the palms back toward you, straighten the arms. There was one for me. Move at a pace that you feel like you've got really good control over these dumbbells. So we're not focusing so much on how many reps you can do, but what's the quality of movement like? How skillfully can you activate the muscle groups that we're targeting here? 4. I'm gonna aim for 10 again, even though I went up in weight. Here's 6. Good news is we've only got one more real working set. Well, 2 more real working sets. One more real I guess I could call it a set. A couple more exercises that we're gonna roll through 2 times. You can always skip ahead if you're done. You can always stop the video if you need more reps to get to that place where you're feeling that burn. I'm gonna add a little bonus onto the end of this set. So I'm gonna take one more round and then I'm gonna pause in a halfway bicep curl here. So arms are bent to about 90 degrees. I'm gonna turn the wrist in a little bit so that angle of my wrist feels more comfortable. And then I'm gonna take it down an inch, alternating, little tiny pulse, 0 momentum. For 5. If you need more, you can bring the dumbbells down a little bit lower than 90 degrees. Oh my gosh, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, set those weights to the side. Grab a sip of water. If you were thoughtful enough to bring one into your space, I was not. Our next set that we've got is a narrow stance row to a regular double leg traditional deadlift move. And then we're gonna finish up with some push-ups before we start. Oh, I forgot our side step. I wish I could have really forgot it, but I didn't really forget it. We've got 30 more seconds of our side step to squat jump. You can start nice and low, big step to the side, jump, 30 seconds right here. Really explosive jump, really solid land. Might be good to have sneakers on for this. All right, 15 more seconds. I'm gonna pace myself until we get to, here's 6 more seconds. Big push. 3, 2, 1. All right. Whew. No more cardio, no more high intensity there. We've got our narrow stance row to push-ups coming up. Push-ups is just gonna be as many reps as possible. I'm gonna grab my 5 pounds. I'm feeling a little fatigued. Okay, narrow stance row, I'll show you from the front. Feet are gonna be about hips distance. You can hinge back through the hips. You're gonna keep the arms close to the body as you roll the elbows up, straighten the arms, and then straighten the legs, or straighten out through the hips rather. Come to that hip hinge with straight arms. Narrow row, straight arms, stand all the way up. Keep going just like that. If this movement's new, take your time. Hip hinge, row, straight arms, and stand. Hip hinge, row, straight arms, and stand. We're gonna grab the heavier weights. A little bit of experimenting, and we'll do that on our next set, next round. Let's go for 3 more like this. This is our pull move, one of them at least. Last one. And then you have so many options for push-ups. As you stand up, set those dumbbells to the side. In fact, one option is you could use those dumbbells on your mat underneath your hands. Then you could take push-ups with those dumbbells. Maybe bring the dumbbells a little bit wider. You could also take push-ups on your mat, on your knees. Very awesome variation as well. And you could do your push-ups on a counter or a chair, or even on a wall. So choose which variation you're gonna get after today. And we're just gonna go for 30 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1. Same deal here. It's really not about how many reps you do. Ooh, it's about targeting the chest and the back, keeping the core strong. And inhale on the way to bend the elbows. Exhale as you straighten the arms. And I think we went over 30 seconds. 30 seconds there. Take a break. Stretch stretch it out. We've got one more round of that. We're gonna finish up with some banded pull aparts, and then a little stretch, and then we are out of here. So it's a pretty quick workout, hopefully. Hopefully it felt quick too. Not done yet. All right, grab which weights you're choosing for your narrow row. Arms stay straight to start. Hinge at the hips, bend into the knees. Row close to the body. Straighten the arms, and then stand back on up. Hinge at the hips, chest slides forward. Bend the elbows, straighten the arms, stand up. Lock your eyes onto one spot in front of you. So I'm looking at the wall in front of me a little bit below the horizon because I'm moving into that hip hinge position. So my eyes come down. I'm looking at the bottom of a window. Bottom of a windowsill in front of me here. Notice how your body's feeling. How many more reps do you think that you could safely complete? I'm gonna say 4 more. And then nice quality for however many more you're going for. Take your time with it. I've got 2 more here. Last one. Okay, set the dumbbells to the side unless you're using them for your push-ups. And then we've got another 30 seconds on with those push-ups. Starting and procrastinating here. It's really nice to give the body a chance to rest. These rest phases are really important so they're able to activate the muscle effectively, but sometimes we're in a little bit of hurry, and that's a-okay too. It's worth it. It's worth it to do your workout and not take these big long rest breaks and just get through it. Maybe lighten the weights that you're using or take a variation. See, I'm gonna do these on my knees here. It's better to get the workout in than to skip it all together because it's gonna take too long if you build in all those rest periods. All right, starting in 2, 1, here we go. 30 seconds. Maybe increasing that range of motion if you need a little bit more. Inhale as you bend the elbows. Exhale as you straighten the arms and push. Push. Last 5 seconds. Ugh. If you need more, feel free to keep going. Ooh, otherwise, be done. You can press it back to a child's pose if you happen to be doing push-ups on your mat. When you are done with that, meet me standing. I'm gonna skip the banded pull aparts if that's okay with you. If you wanna do the banded pull aparts, I'll demo. It's a nice rotator cuff movement. Oh, whatever, let's just do it. Grab your band, put a lot of slack between it. If you have a loop like I do, go ahead and step into that loop so that it's not flinging all over on you. And then you're gonna bring your palms face down. Wrists are just a smidge below your shoulders. Keep your back really tall and neutral. Chest is lifted. And then as you separate your hands, bring that band toward your sternum. Bring your arms back together, try and control that movement, and then let the wrists come right back out in front. So really important here that your back stays still. If you're arching your spine as you bring the band towards your chest, we're not going to be activating the muscles around the shoulders that we're really looking for here. So chest stays nice and lifted, spine stays real tall. As you separate your hands, shoulders hug toward your spine. As your palms or wrists come right back in front of the shoulders, your shoulders round away from the spine. If you feel like you've got the hang of this movement, you can pick up the pace a little bit. Let's go 10, 9, 8 more. Could be going slower. You might only do 3 more in the time that I do my last 5 here. 3, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, set that band out of the way, set all of your equipment out of your way. Stay standing for a moment. Move everything that might trip you up. See, these are like giant Legos. You don't want to accidentally sit on one or step on one. And then just go ahead and take a little gentle twist side to side. Let your arms flop. You can spin one heel up. Breathe in, breathe out. Not about how quick you can move here. In fact, try and slow it down a little bit. The whole point of this cool down is to tell your nervous system, to signal to your nervous system that although we just worked out and that was kind of stressful, put a lot of demands on the body, it's now okay for it to relax. And when the nervous system relaxes, it's going to shift into that side, that parasympathetic side of the nervous system. It's all about resting and digesting, and most importantly here, recovering and repairing. Interlace your fingers at your chest, a little standing cat and cow. Lift the chest toward the hands. So now do the opposite of what we weren't going to do during that banded pull apart. And then round your spine as you press the palms away from you. Soften through the knees, protect the low back. Inhale, hands to your heart, lift the chin. Exhale, palms away, round through your spine. Breathing in, breathing out. 2 more. Last one. Keep the hands interlaced, but stand it all the way up. Press the palms up, 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 up. And then take a side bend. And just opening up through that top shoulder, pressing the hips over toward the opposite side of your hands here. Nice long breath into that stretch, and then swap out your side bend. Get to the other side. So you can let this feel good. So it's not about forcing the biggest range of motion as possible. Just bring a stretch into that outer edge of the body. Release. Make your way onto your back. When you lie down, draw the knees into your chest, and then just circle the knees away from each other. You could bring your palms to your kneecaps. Move around in any way, switch the direction of those circles. If you'd rather just have the knees in, circle both of them over the sacrum or rock side to side, that's fine too. Hook the back of the knees with your hands and then alternate, extending one leg at a time. You can probably see here, my leg's not straightening all the way. That's not my goal here. Just feel the knees move nice and easy. Feel the hamstrings relax. Drop the feet down. Lift the hips up, and a glute bridge. In your glute bridge, reach the arms up and then circle through the wrists. Just really soft through the hands and the fingers. All the grip strength that we use to hold those dumbbells and bands. Switch the direction of those wrist circles. And slowly lower the hips down. Bring your arms to a goalpost or a T. Just toggle the knees side to side, nice and slow. When you're ready, and stretch one leg at a time out for Shavasana. Just be here for about a very brief 30 seconds to a minute. Your only job here is to remind yourself that it's awesome that you showed up for your workout, that you did enough, and that as vital as exercise is to our well-being, rest is equally important. So let the body just melt into the floor beneath you. Give yourself permission to receive a really brief moment of rest. You can just notice the sensation of your breath for the next 30 seconds until I close together, until we close together. ready to get up, you can bring some movement into your body, nod the head, wiggle the fingers or toes, or circle the ankles or wrists, maybe stretch. There's zero rush to find your way to a seated position. When you land, bring your hands to your heart. Once more, because I think we just do not do it enough. Give yourself some gratitude, some appreciation, some credit for taking such great care of your body, maybe such great care of your mental health. If your exercise is part of your mental health toolkit, we'll take one big cleansing breath here together. Big, huge inhale. Let the lungs fill, let the ribs lift, let your shoulders shrug up into your ears, and then sip in even more breath at the top. Open mouth exhale. Awesome work. I hope your body feels well. Feel free to check in. Let me know how that was for you. And hopefully I see you soon.